Hi everyone, we are on day 75th. I'm Anisha, your spiritual life coach and healer, and I've been working with folks for over a decade now. And today, we're going to talk about toxic attachments, right? We are on I think these few videos are on relationships, right? And how we can work with healing various aspects so that, we can actually start thriving and inner child can actually have healthy relationships, right? And today I want to talk about, again, I'm going to bring in the thing is that I can do meditation, but I feel like soul's love affirmations are so powerful, and especially when it comes to certain aspects that it'll really help all of you, all right? So uh, I'm going to be doing some affirmations that'll help you heal, okay? Help the inner child and adult self notice basically patterns of unhealthy or draining, relationships and begin to release them with awareness and compassion, right? So, uh, by the way, you can actually take note of all of this and you can write down what it is that, are your toxic traits. If not, or, if you've seen in other people's relationships and you don't want that to repeat in your life, you can write that down as well. So take these 25, 26 examples that I'm going to give just as a starting point, all right? You may or may not have it. However, in my experience, I've seen folks with these traits, right? These toxic attachments. So we can start with clinging to someone who dismisses my feelings is my soul's love. Needing constant approval from my partner is my soul's love. Staying in relationships out of fear of being alone is my soul's love. Over investing in someone who never reciprocates is my soul's love. Holding on to resentment from past betrayals is my soul's love. Feeling responsible for someone else's happiness is my soul's love. Accepting disrespect as normal behavior is my soul's love. Returning to someone who repeatedly hurts me is my soul's love. Sacrificing my need to keep the peace is my soul's love. Ignoring red flags to avoid conflict is my soul's love. Seeking validation through social media or generally, right, is my soul's love. Loving someone more than them loving me is my soul's love. Or me not loving myself and relying on others to love me is my soul's love. Repeating patterns of abuse and neglect is my soul's love. Suppressing my voice to maintain a connection is my soul's love. Overanalyzing interactions for signs of rejection is my soul's love. Romanticizing unhealthy relationships is my soul's love. Clinging to ex-partners or old flames is my soul's love. Feeling trapped in obligations or guilt is my soul's love. Allowing someone else to control my emotions is my soul's love. Forgiving without real boundaries or change is my soul's love. Staying in friendships that drain my energy is my soul's love. Comparing my relationships to others to measure my worth is my soul's love. Feeling incomplete about someone's presence is my soul's love. Ignoring my intuition about toxic dynamics is my soul's love. And attaching identity or self worth to another person is my soul's love. So, like I said, I'm just scratching the surface, I feel here, right? Because we can go really deep in it. And actually, I'll come back with another uh, day probably and go deeper, right? And make a longer video on this because I feel like there's a lot of work that many of us need in this area, right? So when we do this, we are actually healing our inner child, right? Because these aspects are what we took from our inner child or our inner child learned rather, right? And that's how we've been now functioning as an adult. So these are when we do these recitations, right? When we when we do these statements, we are actually releasing those toxic um traits, right? Toxic attachments. And then once they're gone, then slowly healthy attachments will develop, right? So that's what we are working on here. So for today, that's all. I will see you all tomorrow. Signing off, Anisha, from Zarya Healing.